African Americans protect their lives and win the right to vote and secure their civil rights. The NAACP focused on the battle for equal access to decent housing and professional careers like teaching. Across the country, African Americans were migrating from rural to urban areas during this period.
Progressivism presents contradictions. For non-white immigrant Americans, the progressive era was not so progressive. Most progressives were white. Angelo Saxton, who was indifferent and acted hostile towards minorities. Social reforms or social control. Civil groups and settlement houses played a major role in Americanization. Not only did they teach them English, but they also advised them to change their ways of life. They did this under the idea that they could make them more loyal and more citizenized. Because some immigrants kept their ways of life, the temperance movement was made because of prejudice. Was made because it was prejudiced, because of how alarmingly the amounts of alcohol they could consume on their basic customs. Racism limits the goals of progressivism. Mainly, progressives shared the same prejudice on non-whites because they believed some people were more fit to play the role in society than others. They agreed on false scientific claims to back up their reasoning, using these false claims to oversee laws on blacks. After Plessy versus Ferguson, North and South states passed segregation laws by 1910. It was the norm across the United States to have slavery.
In the progressive era, minorities created self-help groups to fight against discrimination. Jews in New York had created the B'nai B'rith in 1843 to provide religious education to help Jewish families. The Anti-Defamation League was also created. It defended Jews against physical and verbal attacks. Mexican Americans also formed organizations, the mutualistic groups that made loans provided that helped legal assistance. Discrimination was also towards Asian Americans. They weren't allowed to own land, so they started putting their land under their American-born children.